Have you ever wondered what it feels like to be someone whose energy literally breaks the internet? What it's like to have your pulse constantly racing at 200 beats per minute? Today, you are going to become that person. You open your eyes and reality instantly crushes you. Right now, you don't feel like a global superstar. You don't feel like a millionaire or anyone significant in this huge system. You only feel the sticky, suffocating stuffiness of a tiny, incredibly cramped bedroom in Cincinnati, Ohio. You are 16 years old. Your world right now has shrunk to the size of a cheap plastic monitor that heats the air in the room so much that after a few hours of sitting continuously, it becomes physically hard to breathe. The window is shut tight, the blinds are down, cutting you off from the outside world. You're sitting in a worn-out, uncomfortable chair that squeaks annoyingly with every slight movement. You're wearing cheap headphones, and the foam pad started peeling a long time ago, leaving annoying black crumbs on your neck and shoulders. You stare at the screen without blinking. Your eyes have been watering for a while from the harsh, unnatural blue light because you've been sitting here for 4 hours straight. You're playing NBA 2K. You are trying your hardest, pouring all your energy into the game. You're trying to dynamically commentate every shot, trying to crack jokes, forcing out a loud, contagious laugh, desperately hoping that at least someone on the other side of this glowing rectangle will smile with you. But in return, only the deafening, heavy silence of the digital void. With a sinking heart, you glance at the bottom right corner of the screen. The number 3. 3 viewers. You don't even know for sure if they are real people who stumbled onto the stream or just lost algorithmic bots. The chat is completely empty. Not a single line. Not a single emoji. You are absolutely, totally invisible to this massive world, and that realization presses down on your shoulders like a concrete slab. Suddenly, the monotonous sound of the game is interrupted by the sharp creak of floorboards behind the thin, cheap drywall. Heavy, fast footsteps. They are rapidly approaching your door. Your heart drops in anticipation of an argument. You instinctively reach for the keyboard and quickly mute your mic. From behind the door comes your mother's voice. It sounds muffled through the wall, but every word she says hits you like a harsh physical slap across the face. "Darren, are you yelling at that damn screen again?" Her voice shakes with incredible exhaustion and undeniable built-up frustration. She just got back from another grueling shift. She works herself to the bone every single day to pay the bills for this house, to keep food on the table, to keep clothes on your back so you don't end up on the streets one day. It's 2 a.m. When are you finally going to grow up? Look at kids your age. They're getting normal jobs, they're thinking about college, about their futures. And you're wasting electricity and your life on these stupid games. This is going nowhere, Darren. Do you hear me? It's a dead end. Stop this right now. You stay quiet. You don't say a single word back, even though everything inside you is boiling with a sense of injustice and hurt. You just drop your head and stare at your sneakers, swallowing the bitter lump in your throat. In this exact moment, you feel like the biggest, most bitter disappointment in her life. She doesn't mean you harm. She's not trying to crush your dreams. She is just deathly afraid for your future in this harsh, unforgiving world, where ordinary kids from these neighborhoods rarely get a second chance or a lucky ticket. And that clear understanding makes it hurt even more. Every word she says is a harsh reality you just can't argue with. The loneliness squeezes your chest so hard it takes your breath away. Right now, you just want to rip off these cheap headphones, smash the flickering monitor to pieces, pull all the cables out of your PC, and just give up. Give up and become normal. Go to the fast food joint on the corner tomorrow morning, put on a uniform, fry French fries for 8 hours a day, and become exactly who she wants you to be. Become ordinary. Become a nobody. The room sinks back into a thick silence, broken only by the strained humming of an overheated cooling fan in your old PC tower. And then, right on the edge of your cluttered desk, your phone with the cracked screen gives a short buzz. You slowly reach out. The bright light from the display sharply pierces your eyes in the dim room. One new message. From the contact, Dad, the man who doesn't live under the same roof as you, who is far away, but who somehow stubbornly continues to see something in you that absolutely no one else sees. You open the text. It's just a few short lines, but they carry more weight than everything that was just said before. Son, I saw your last stream. You did great. Don't listen to anybody and don't stop. You've got a spark, Darren. Do your thing. Don't give up. I believe in you. You reread this short text over and over again. The letters on the cracked screen start to blur from the welling tears you'll never show to anyone. This simple message doesn't solve your financial problems. It doesn't make you popular instantly, and it doesn't convince your mother, but it gives you just enough vital oxygen to take one more life-saving breath in this stuffy, suffocating room. You put the phone down face first. You slowly lift your head, roll your shoulders back, and look at the monitor again. You see your own reflection in the dark parts of the screen. A tired 16-year-old kid with dull eyes whom the world constantly tells no. You shift your gaze to the viewer counter in the corner. Someone just closed the tab. Viewers drop to 2. And then, right before your eyes, the number changes one more time. 1. Just one single viewer on the entire massive planet. And inside you, somewhere very deep in your chest, something snaps. Loud, hard, and irreversibly. The feeling of guilt and worthlessness instantly evaporates, making way for something entirely new. Something primal, wild, and uncontrollable. You realize one simple, rock-solid truth. Playing by the rules of this world is absolutely pointless. Being good, being quiet, obedient, and normal, that's a trap that will lock you in this bedroom forever. If this world doesn't want to pay attention to your whisper, if algorithms and people ignore your normal efforts, then you will force them to listen to your scream. You will force them to watch. Your hand confidently lands on the keyboard. You unmute the mic. There is no turning back. The click of the microphone button echoes in the silent room like a starting pistol. You take a deep breath. The air is just as stuffy, but you don't feel suffocated anymore. Instead of blood, pure concentrated adrenaline starts pumping through your veins. You stare at the screen. Your in-game character misses the easiest shot. Just yesterday, you would have just sighed heavily, plastered on a fake smile, and said something like, "Oh well guys, tough luck." But not today. Today, the spring that's been winding up for 16 years under the pressure of expectations, poverty, and being ignored completely snaps. You violently jump to your feet. Your old chair flies back with a crash, slamming into the wall. You lean right into the webcam, so close that your face distorts through the cheap lens. Eyes wide open. You open your mouth, and instead of words, you let out a primal, deafening roar. You scream so loud that the audio meter on your streaming software instantly flashes red, and the microphone starts aggressively clipping, unable to handle the decibels. But that's not enough for you. The energy is literally tearing you apart from the inside. You drop to the dirty carpet, right in the middle of a live stream. Your hands smack the floor, and you start doing push-ups like a maniac. 1, 2, 10, 20. Your muscles burn, sweat rolls down your forehead, stinging your eyes, but you don't stop. You jump back up, grab the webcam with both hands, shake it with all your might, and suddenly, you start barking. Hard, aggressive, like a pit bull off its leash. You bark at the monitor, at the game, at that single viewer, at this whole damn world that made you feel like a nobody. You trash your room. You slam your fist on the desk, the keyboard bounces, and a few keys fly off with a sharp crack. You're breathing heavily, staring right into the lens. In this exact moment, Darren Watkins Jr. disappears. In his place, IShowSpeed is born. Absolute, uncontrollable chaos in the flesh. You shift your wild, crazed gaze to the chat. That one single viewer just clipped it, and that clip flies straight into the TikTok algorithms. What happens next is like a digital tsunami. You blink, wiping the sweat from your eyelashes, and look at the viewer counter. 10, 30, 100, 500, 1,000. The numbers on the screen start spinning so fast it looks like a broken slot machine in Las Vegas. 5,000, 10,000 people. The empty chat, which was a dead zone just 15 minutes ago, suddenly erupts. Messages fly by at such incredible speed that they blur into a solid white line of pixels. You can't read a single word, but you see an endless stream of W's and L's, fire emojis, and laughing faces. Donation alerts start popping up on the screen. They go off one after another, blending into a continuous ring. $5, $10, $50. People are paying you just to keep losing your mind. The internet has never seen anything like this. In a world of polished, perfect creators with proper speech and flawless lighting, you became a breath of fresh air. You gave people the one thing they're afraid to let out in their real lives, the absolute primal freedom to be unhinged. Your laugh goes viral. Your meltdowns, where you bark at the screen or fall out of your chair, instantly scatter into millions of memes. You found a glitch in the matrix. The currency of the modern world is attention, and you just hacked the vault. But with this crazy fame comes a new, strange feeling. Normal teenagers at school can't understand you anymore. Your life is moving at the speed of light, and you need people who can keep up with this rhythm. People who speak your language. A few months later, your room looks different. 2 expensive monitors, a professional mic, but all around you is the same controlled chaos. The signature Discord ringtone echoes in your headphones. You accept the call. Faces pop up on the second monitor. Kai Cenat is laughing hysterically, literally falling out of his chair from your latest wild stunt. Aiden Ross is looking into the camera, shaking his head as if he can't believe you're a real human being, but there's a massive smile on his face. You all start yelling at each other, cutting each other off, laughing until you cry. The audio in your headphones turns into a pure cacophony of W speed, you crazy bro, and trading roasts. You lean back in your new, expensive chair, and for the first time in your life, you feel like your heart is beating in sync with someone else's. You're not alone anymore. You found your brothers. These aren't just streamers making collab content for views. This is your new family in the digital world. You are the new school. You are the generation that doesn't wait in line to get famous. You just kick the door down and take this internet for yourselves. And this is only the beginning. The 4 walls of your bedroom, even though they're now decorated with neon signs, YouTube platinum plaques, and expensive acoustic panels, suddenly feel too tight. Your energy, expanding with every new million subscribers, physically can't fit inside a single house in Ohio anymore. The virtual world has been conquered, and now reality demands your presence. You step out of your comfort zone, and the transition feels like a sharp electric shock. The glare of massive stadium spotlights hits your eyes so hard that you go blind for a second, reflexively throwing your hand up. You take a deep breath, and instead of the stale air of a stuffy room, your lungs fill with the fresh, cool scent of cut grass and damp earth. You open your eyes. London. A massive, majestic stadium. You're standing on a perfect green pitch, wearing a football kit. A sound hits your ears that no headphones in the world, no matter how expensive, could ever replicate the unified, primal, vibrating roar of 80,000 living people. They are screaming your name. The Sidemen charity match. You're not a professional athlete. You haven't trained your whole life for this pitch, but the crowd came to see you. Because they know, wherever you are, there's a show. The game begins. Adrenaline floods your brain. You run across the pitch so chaotically and fast, it's like you don't have a stamina bar, and then you see him. Running with the ball right in front of you is KSI, one of the biggest legends of British YouTube, a boxer, a titan of this industry. Anyone else in your shoes would show respect, play it safe. But you're not anyone else. You turn off your rational thinking, you turn on pure instinct, you dash forward, picking up max speed, push off the grass, and launch yourself into an absolutely insane, brutal slide tackle. You take KSI down with such force that the sound of bodies crashing echoes across the pitch. He hits the grass. The stands freeze in shock for a split second, and then erupt into an absolutely deafening, hysterical scream. The ref reaches for a card, but you already couldn't care less about the rules of football. You jump to your feet, grab the collar of your jersey, and with a furious roar, you rip it off, pulling it over your head. You run up to the nearest broadcast camera, stare right into the glass lens, and let out your signature wild bark. 80,000 people in the stadium and millions behind their screens are losing their minds right alongside you. You just turned a classic sport into your own personal performance. But this is just one stop. Your life turns into a continuous, surreal kaleidoscope. The internet multiverse begins to collapse around you, merging worlds that previously seemed parallel. Cut 2. A hot, scorching sun. You're standing on the deck of a giant super yacht worth tens of millions of dollars. Red cinema cameras and operators are bustling around, drones are buzzing through the air above the water, and standing right next to you is him, Jimmy Donaldson, Mr. Beast, the man holding this entire industry in his hands. You're standing side by side, and the contrast between you two is so striking it's almost comical. Jimmy is cold calculation, math, perfect algorithms, million-dollar chess games, and absolute total control over every second of the frame. And you are a tornado. You are a natural disaster that cannot be calculated or programmed. Jimmy turns to you, smiles, and explains the rules of the next crazy survival challenge. You listen to him, you nod, but an unbelievable realization is pulsing inside you. Just a couple of years ago, you were an invisible kid from Cincinnati getting yelled at by your mom through a cardboard wall, and now you are standing shoulder to shoulder with titans. The most influential people on the planet invite you into their projects not just for views. They invite you because without your spark, without your chaos, this perfect, polished, digital world feels too boring. You look out at the endless ocean, in front of the yacht. The multiverse has opened every door for you. You've become part of the major leagues, where the stakes are measured in millions and influence spans across continents. But even standing here, at the very top of the YouTube food chain, there is only one thought pulsing in your head. One name that has haunted you since childhood. The man for whom you are ready to drop all of this in a heartbeat. The greatest hunt of your life is about to begin. But all these million-dollar contracts, yachts, massive stadiums, and tens of millions of loyal subscribers, all of it fades and seems absolutely insignificant compared to one single dream. The dream of that lonely, scared boy from the stuffy bedroom who was looking for just anything to hold on to in this world. Cristiano Ronaldo. To you, he was never just a football player. He wasn't just an athlete on TV. He was a living symbol that incredible, obsessive hard work could lift a person from the very bottom straight to the heavens. He is your personal religion, and now that you have the resources, the most exhausting, painful, and greatest chase in the history of the modern internet begins. You fly across oceans. Your life turns into an endless string of airports, hotel rooms, and stadiums. England, Qatar, Saudi Arabia. You sit in the VIP stands of the best arenas in the world. You're always wearing his number 7 jersey. You stare out at the green pitch, your heart pounding in anticipation of a miracle. But he's not there. A cold rain pours down, soaking the stands. You're shivering, but not from the cold, from the nervous tension. You look at the bench. He's sitting right there. The match ends, and he never steps onto the pitch, time after time. You spend millions of dollars on flights. You travel tens of thousands of miles, staying awake for days, just to see an empty patch of grass where he was supposed to run. The internet is cruel. Online, people start openly laughing at your obsession. They make endless compilations of your disappointments, slap sad music over them, turning your genuine pain into just another viral meme. Sometimes you sit alone in an expensive but completely alien hotel room. You cover your face with your hands, and real, bitter tears well up in your eyes, tears of despair and absolute helplessness. It starts to feel like the universe itself is mocking you, punishing you for your audacity. But speed never gives up, and then the day finally comes. An underground stadium parking lot in Lisbon. The air is thick and heavy with exhaust fumes. You're standing in a tight circle of security guards and random onlookers. Your heart is beating so hard that your chest physically hurts, the pulse pounding in your temples. A black car with tinted windows smoothly pulls up literally a meter away from you. The door slowly opens. In this exact second, time stands still. The noise of the parking lot, camera flashes, shouting fans, it all vanishes, like someone hit the mute button. He steps out of the car. Cristiano smiles. He takes a step towards you. He looks right at you, and you realize he knows exactly who you are. Your mind completely shuts down. Your legs give out, and you literally collapse onto the hard concrete of the parking lot. You scream, choking on the overwhelming emotion. You show him your tattoo with his face on it. You jump up and hug him so tight, as if you're afraid he'll melt away like a mirage if you let go. He hugs you back, laughing at your crazy reaction. And when the two of you, looking at each other, shout the legendary, booming in perfect unison, the echo of that scream doesn't just ring through the underground parking lot. It rings across the whole world. It's absolute catharsis. No more pain, no more disappointments. The perfect, impossible dream of that kid from Ohio just became reality. Now, this massive, fast-spinning world completely belongs to you. You step outside a luxury hotel in Mumbai, Tokyo, or Rio de Janeiro, and the air around you literally explodes. Tens of thousands of people fill the streets as far as the eye can see. They paralyze the traffic of an entire metropolis. They chant your name with such primal force that your ears pop, and the ground beneath your feet starts to subtly vibrate from their jumping. The police form human shields, desperately trying to hold back this uncontrollable wave of human love and madness. You get into a heavy armored SUV, but the crowd chases the car. They smack their palms against the tinted windows, they scream, trying to catch just one look from you. And what do? With a massive smile, you roll down the window and start furiously barking back at them. And instead of getting scared or backing off, they cry tears of happiness and bark right along with you. Your in-real-life street streaming has permanently erased all conceivable borders between countries, languages, and continents. You don't need a translator. Your energy has become the universal language of the internet. The car pulls onto an open highway. You lean back against the soft leather seat and pull your phone out of your pocket. It's not that shattered, cheap plastic device with the cracked screen anymore, the one that once received that saving text from your dad. You open your banking app and look at the numbers. 8-figure sums, a historic, multi-million-dollar contract with Rumble, massive sponsorship deals, your very own content empire. The money flows like a river that can no longer be stopped. In that moment, silence falls inside the car. You close your eyes and clearly hear it again, that muffled, exhausted, desperate voice of your mother through the thin drywall back in Ohio. You remember every intonation. You remember that heavy guilt that pressed down on your chest. But that wall isn't there anymore. You bought her a giant, luxurious mansion. She will never have to take a night shift again in her life. She no longer has to check price tags at the grocery store or worry in terror about how to pay the electric bill. She doesn't yell at you at night out of fear for your future anymore. Now, she only calls you to say, through tears of absolute pride, how much she loves her son. You didn't just change your own life, you pulled your family from the very bottom and secured their future for generations to come. You step out onto the roof of the tallest skyscraper, and the cold night wind hits your face. Far below, the endless lights of the metropolis are shimmering a city that right now, in this very second, is talking about your name on social media. You take a deep breath, and that signature, slightly crazy smile appears on your face. You proved one great truth to the whole world, to all the skeptics, the teachers, and the soulless algorithms. You don't need to be polished, perfect, and proper. You don't need to bend to the system and whisper when you want to scream. If you have a real, wild spark inside you, if you're not afraid to let your inner chaos out, you can burn their old rules to the ground and build your own invincible empire on the ashes. You force this planet to spin to your personal rhythm at 200 beats per minute, and the scariest part for them is that you're just getting started. The lights of the night metropolis continue to shimmer as you stand at the top, knowing that this chaos can never be stopped. The realization of everything you've been through hits you all at once. All these insane milestones, meeting your ultimate idol, an impossible dream becoming absolute reality. You stop holding back your emotions. As the great IShowSpeed, you cry. Hot tears of pure joy roll down your face, but breaking right through them is the biggest, most genuine smile in the world. You celebrate like a kid who just won at life. Your primal adrenaline has forever changed the rules of the game, and the internet will never be the same again. The screen slowly fades to black. In the darkness, a single bright neon line slowly lights up. Subscribe or I will bark at you.